Welcome back to the reality, guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co host, Brian.
What's going on, everybody?
We are back to talk one of our favorite reality TV shows. This is The Amazing Race. This is episode 8. Make sure you're liked and subscribed here and on our TikTok. We do reality TV news, 60-second reviews, and other things that we don't have here on the YouTube channel. But if you're on the YouTube channel, make sure that you hit the notification bell. We drop a lot of videos per day, and it helps you know what comes out daily. Okay, Brian, this is a kind of a cool leg. I really enjoyed it. It was both a country that we've never been to on the Amazing Race, Slovenia. Definitely a country I didn't know a lot about. It was beautiful. Thought they really, really cool locales. And it also was the episode we've seen once a season, but this one really dove in. It is the Expedia whore themselves out, make that ad money pookie so that they can keep the lights on
Yeah,
week.
right. Isn't it always funny when like you are older than a country that's been created?
Yeah, 1991, and you and I are. I'm
Oh,
90. Are you 90?
I'm 92. Yeah,
Yeah. So look
90.
at
I'm
yeah, 90 as well. Yeah.
92.
So we are
Yeah.
older than Slovenia.
Yeah, I mean
Also,
that's how
like
you
think
get
of
shit on.
Slovenia, I start thinking about like Doctor Doom and like Latveria, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, this is a small real guys. Like, who runs Slovenia? I'd like to think that Victor Von Doom or some dude like that's out there.
yeah, it's
Everyone
very
choose to
possible. I
think.
mean, especially like with the mountainous terrain, like he has a castle on top of like a big
Yeah,
mountain.
man, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they one person mistook it for Transylvania at one
Yeah,
point in the episode.
right.
So, I mean, frankly, I don't want to know. Like, Logan, do not answer this question. I don't want to know if there's like a parliamentary Congress in Slovenia. I don't want to know about anything unless it's like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where they're the peasants and they're, you know, everyone becomes the leader every once in a while and they're screaming at him for not understanding their role of government. I didn't vote for you. You don't
I,
vote for a king.
I do think that Todd was right when he was talking about the guy that was based off of Dracula, though, like
He
slasher.
was not because he had the name wrong. He called it
Oh,
Ivan the Impaler, and it's Vlad the Impaler.
I mean that if you scramble those letters around.
Ooh, like a Tom Riddle type thing. Oh my god! All right, so we go to the main. They have their goal is to get to the capital, Lubania, which is spelled ridiculously.
Yeah,
For the next leg, they call it the Tree City. I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like
yeah,
again, like this is going to be like
it's
Lord of
super
the
cool.
Rings.
It was
Like,
an awesome looking country though, man. It was really beautiful.
originally Greg and John were going to be the first ones to only get on the flight, which I thought were going to be cool, the original flight. But I did like that they do take in like standby like you would
Mm.
at a normal airport. So Todd and Ashley, Rob and Corey both were able to get the first flight via standby. They all had a lead there for a while, but we are going to get to a big navigational blunder that didn't really end up costing them, but they could have definitely padded a little bit of the lead. But it doesn't seem like this season they're very interested in letting people actually hold the merits of being ahead and earning and keeping that, right? Like they equalize people out like once a week in this season.
Yeah, they bottleneck everybody, but that whole situation of them like trying to jump trains, I thought was really cool though. Like them trying to like be strategic about it.
Yeah, so I'll get this. So the idea was that they arrive in Vienna from the flight. They have to go to the wine station, which I thought was Wien. It was the Wien station.
Mm-hmm.
Funny. Yeah, I'm a 12-year-old. All right. It's funny. The train they wanted to go to was a town. It was basically like they would do a bunch of stops and they were going to go to this town Graz where they would have like a 5-minute layover and hop
Yeah.
on a train. They got to be smarter than that. Have any of them ever like not taken like NJ Transit or something before, like ever, or Amtrak, anything in their life, any kind of regional rail, SEPTA? Like you were never, you had five
Yeah.
minutes, dude. You were not making that train.
Yeah, and for somebody that just flew into Vienna a couple of months ago, I would highly advise not to do any of that stuff. You need to have space. You cannot get stranded anywhere in another country where you don't know the language.
In the timing. Like there's one train that goes in the at late night because they're probably catching the last train again. Regional. If I'm calling it akin to sort of regional rail like we have in the U.S., it's like that. You got to be smarter than that, guys. Like you don't. It's you can't. I don't even blame that on foreign countries. You just got to understand how trains and schedules work, and it is not going to show up dead on time. Like
Right.
they're in the train, it keeps. I laugh again. Anyone who's like ever like people again. I'm giving my area, but anyone like the New York, New Jersey area, anyone who's taking like NJ Transit, it's like the classic, just watching the times go up, and you're
Mhm.
gonna miss your train. It's not gonna
Mhm.
show up. It's gonna be full. Like it's like these are the things you have to anticipate. So basically, they just had to take the train back that night. So they had to go back and take the, I guess it was like the 10 p.m. train that everyone else then from the former flights arrived, and everyone's there, and they're all going to take this same, I guess maybe either direct train or whatever, to their destination. um Route info was to go to Congress Square and then drive to an airfield. It was the Lesh Bled airfield. This led to our roadblock, which was who wants a bird's eye view. We've seen these before, Brian, the gliders. We've seen the plane gliders. How many? It was a couple seasons ago, I think, right? Was it the Holderness season?
I don't remember,
We've
but
had this before. They've literally have done these glider planes on Amazing Race in the last few seasons. So that's I would think, I think it was the Holderness season. I mean, obviously, don't hold me to that, but I do remember us seeing those on a challenge. Um, Really cool. I would, that's something I would
yeah,
definitely do. I mean, a lot of crazy things I wouldn't do. I think the gliders are kind of cool. They only go 70 miles an hour. It's not, outrageously crazy. It seems like they're pretty stable for what it is, but you can't be too tall apparently to get in it.
still kind of scares me though. I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie.
it's not like not scary, but I think comparatively of a lot of the things, like I'd rather do that than like skydive.
Yeah, probably.
I think so. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to look up the statistics. It may be like a death trap for all we know. But again,
Would definitely not skydive in another country. That's for sure.
I don't think Amazing Race really like puts people into too much mortal danger, except for when I read the uh, Logan's blog this week, and apparently a guy in the Amazing Race like actually beat up like a random citizen or something like that. I'm like, oh god, like I'm gonna look into that a little more.
I'll try
That
to read
that
that before I go to bed,
that
but I
made
don't.
me pop. I was like, what? What? There's like a rule. They call it like the guy's name now and everything. It was pretty wild. I'm sure some of our, we have knowledgeable commenters
Yeah.
here. I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I think this guy's name was Tommy or something. Probably dead wrong, but whatever. This also, it was marking the year of Slovenia independence, 1991. You had to actually like write the numbers down, figure out what the year was there, and go. I mean, again, that was a useful thing. If you had any idea that it was a relatively new country, I knew that it was in the 1900s, so I would have just guessed all those. So it definitely would have helped. This is also where we're going to get our Mario Party reference of the week. We have two games me and Brian were talking about, so we kind of figure we just mentioned both of them. Starting Mario Party 2, there's Sky Pilots. That's the 2v2 one where someone's flapping the wings and someone else is directing it, and you have to go through and collect rings and all like that. That's a fun one. Also, shout out Mario Party 3, also my personal favorite, along with the GameCube one, Mario Party 4. Ace is High. This was the dog fighting one. Now I know they weren't doing any dog fighting, but hey, they're still playing, still flying around, and never going to turn down a chance to talk about Mario Party 3. All right, so we're gonna head back to there. I mean, there's really nothing crazy to talk about that outside of, hey, I thought it was pretty cool.
Hmm.
We were then heading to the next route info was the Planica Nordic Center. I thought this place was really cool. This is like a place that is like a, they turned the parking garage of it into an indoor ice skiing ring, like a kind of like cross country skiing.
Yeah.
And that's where they put their laps in, which I thought was pretty dope.
Yeah, it was very cool. Definitely something that they would do over there because of like they love those type of sports.
We see Steve and Annalie too. Something to note early in this episode: a lot of arguing, mainly just from Annalie's side towards Steve. He doesn't seem to really be getting upset by her. I think it's just like a father who knows exactly like why his daughter's freaking out. Which I thought he was handling it really well. Which I thought, like, I mean, frankly, like there could be, think about like some of my family members, they'd definitely be like yelling back. It would not be like a great situation. So I respected how he was handling it.
He's been dealing with her for years. He knows.
Obviously, girl dad. um I do want to mention that this is where we go over to where there is an express pass available here at the location. This was pretty sick. It was a ski jump. They said it's like the second biggest or biggest ski jump in Europe, or maybe even the world. It was 1100 steps up. um this was really really interesting because was it Todd and Corey, right?
Rob and Corey.
Robin Corey, sorry, I said Todd. Robin Corey, they get there first and they start going up. Well, they actually don't get there first.
Yeah,
Uh,
Tom Ashley.
Todd and Ashley get there first. But Todd and Ashley blow by the most obvious entrance. I mean, it's a the stairs are right there,
Yeah.
and there are two flags at the entrance of the stairs. It's just like later on with Steve and Annalie when they don't see the big thing that says that it's not available. Like,
Yeah.
you have to go up. People consider going after them. Like I said, Todd and Ashley, they would have apparently overcome them if they didn't realize that there was two levels to it. But then we also had Greg and John show up, who were the original first placers. They easily would have overtaken them if they went for it.
100%. They, I felt like Rob was on like a respirator
Rob
when he
was
was.
dying. I mean, frankly, I mean, that's steep. I
It
mean,
is steep.
super
It is.
steep.
It is steep.
Uh, Obviously, with them taking their time making up, they do get the express pass. This part was cool. The steepest zip line or something in Europe that
Yeah,
was
it's like
dope.
the hardest
Yeah, the
decline.
steepest angle, like
Yeah.
that's sick. I think that was pretty cool. Again, I really enjoyed the excursion aspect of this episode. Um, Everyone then had to do the route info, doing the cross country ski lap. I
Mhm.
thought that was cool just to be able to go get the route info. That's where you found out that you had to go over for the detour. You either did the field work. Once you've racked enough hay on the wall, you'd be good. Or you could build a bee house, like a beekeeper's house, because they have the highest per capita beekeepers in the world. So again, that's cool. Honey's important, pollination, blah blah
Mhm.
blah. Which one did you think you would have done?
Hey,
I would have done the hay too. It's simple.
yeah. I mean, I'm glad we were in agree. We're usually not in agreement here, but I just was like, I don't know why you'd want to build that.
I
Like
wouldn't
you had to
either.
paint it too. It wasn't like they. I think it was Joel and when Joel and Grant went up, they're like, oh, we didn't know we had to build it. Like,
When Rob and Corey rolled up, they got hit with a sassy "read your clue" from Greg.
yeah, that was
Uh,
lame.
yeah, you could just be like, dude, yeah, just stack it up. I didn't think that I think they've been really cool, so I don't think they needed to give the sassiness towards them.
Right,
But hey, it is a race. Rob and Corey end up leaving the hay area second anyway. They beat out them at least as far as that part of the leg.
right.
Um, Steve and Annalie, like I mentioned, they go all the way to the top before they find out that the express pass in there. Listen, I thought they were dead in the water.
Yeah, that's kind of what's more impressive to me is like, where would they have placed if they didn't do that?
Why were those girls? Why were they so far behind?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I don't know, man. You just if you're not gonna if you can't get rid of them, I feel like they could still like catapult up.
The pit stop for this leg of the race was Dragon Bridge. It made me think about like smog.
Yeah, and then like Annalie was like, "Where Dragon Bridge? Dragon Bridge."
Dragon Bridge. Listen, I always love a good. I call for one a year. I need one foot race, and we got a legit foot race. We got a finished within a few minutes. It seemed like foot race for the final two spots. So Brian, like we do every week, let's go through and let me know the order of this week's finishers.
All right, so first place we had Greg and John. Second place Todd and Ashley. Third place Rob and Corey. Fourth place Joel and Garrett. Fifth place Robin and Chelsea. Sixth place Steve and Anna Lee. And eliminated and in last Morgan and Lena.
Right before I get to Morgan and Lena, in the spirit of forgetting things, I did forget to mention that Joel and Garrett had left their notebook and all of their stuff behind, which I thought could have been at the time like a mortal mistake, but it turned out to not be because of the couple teams behind them.
And is that was that notebook to have like their like receipts and stuff and also
I
like
think there was two
information?
piles. I saw them both pick stuff up, and I'm pretty sure one of them was like the clue in a whole thing. I'm like,
But he also kind of would man, you know how they always have like stuff at the end of the last leg is like you have to remember everything you did. And I feel like that's what that notebook
well, the
was. It was like,
notebook, that's 100% what the notebook
yeah,
was, to remember where we went and the names of the places and landmarks, because that's like the memory challenge thing.
yeah.
It's good to have that on you.
Dude, that's my team, man. They're still hanging in there.
Good for you, Brian.
Yeah.
Good for you. My team's been out for a while.
Well, you're on Robin Corey, right? That's the honorary team.
Yeah, that was yeah, but I remember I was the Leicester, the like Leicester, whatever the brother and sister who came at
Oh,
lost.
Lichter Victor,
The
I thought
Lichter
was.
Victors, yeah, the Lichter Victors.
I don't know. I really like Robin Corey though. Like I
I
really
do
like,
too.
yeah.
I don't really dislike, frankly, I really don't dislike
No, I
anybody.
don't dislike anybody, honestly. Like I like
I think they've
everybody.
all run a good race.
Yeah, I mean Robin and Chelsea, we didn't know. Like I feel like they're the strong silent type is what they are.
This show today, I was thinking I was watching like a trivia thing, and one of the answers was Rat Race, and I love that
Oh,
movie. It's so
that's a
funny.
funny movie.
And I just like thought about it. I was like, we need to get. I'd love to get some season or like a version of Amazing Race where it was like kind of like House of Villains esque people, like real, just like over the top crazy people, and have them racing. You know what I mean? Like as opposed to like these are all nice, well, normal, like pretty well adjusted people with like inspirational stories, blah blah blah, cops, father daughter, blah blah blah. But
Yeah.
like, I want to just see a bunch of crazies running around the world. Like,
Yeah, you gotta do that one in US, I think, because you get away with more stuff, I think.
oh yeah, for sure. They were gonna get their passports pulled. These people, their visas. Yeah. So look, overall, they ran are exiting sisters. They now are friends. Apparently, they were feuding before. That's really cool. I'm curious to hear. Like, I like what the people do the exit interviews after we do our stuff. It's nice to hear if there was any cool like behind the scenes scoops. Maybe we'll get some idea like why they were just so damn far behind that Steve and
Yeah.
Annalie literally could climb a mountain, go back down, and still beat them out. So did they just get really turned around trying to get to that last spot? Did they just not? Because I don't think the episode really highlighted that super heavy. So
I mean, you would think with the amount of time on these episodes now, we would get a little bit of.
there you go. We found a way. You found a way to get a 90-minute comment in. It got right under the ticker here. You're right for like the 2-minute warning. Right before I get into my spiel about people subscribing and the whole thing. I ain't even doing it. I ain't even
Mhm.
doing it. Um, I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I
no, I thought it was a good episode.
We are running down. We have like I think it's December 13th. It's going to be the finale, Brian. So it would mean we're probably going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 more weeks. Finale is usually like a 2, 3 hour episode. So
Yeah. Okay. So 6 teams left. So
usually
usually
we get to
three in the
like
final, right?
three. Usually, like I think they change sometimes. I think we've had like four at the very beginning or three, but I think three is a good number for a I would like the like three to do a mega leg or something, or like four to go into like a mega leg, one eliminated or two eliminated even.
Hmm.
I would love
Yeah.
to have just two for like the final like leg. I think that would be really cool, like a
Because then you
straight
can
up
focus
foot
on them.
race.
They have so much time to focus on them. And it's.
Yeah, I have no idea where we're going with these teams too, which is
Do you think
great.
they'd even do a 2 hour finale? They don't need to if they're doing an hour. What's the extra
No,
thirty
I think they
minutes?
might do 3 hours. I don't think
Oh
Survivor and
God.
I don't think Survivor and Amazing Race are going to end on the same night.
I don't
I
want
don't
to.
think so. They usually don't.
3 hour finale for both. It kind of annoys me.
I could see through. Well, because Survivor, you can get a reunion in there too.
And that new reunion is nothing to me. If
I'm
it's
just
not in studio, I don't want to see it.
speculating here on how our
They're
CBS
gonna
fans
do it,
takes
but
are going
if
to
it's not in
fly.
studio, I don't want to watch it.
Who knows? Maybe they'll change it up this season.
Well,
Probably not because they're
no,
lazy.
nope.
Because Jeff
Yeah, they're
doesn't.
lazy and cheap.
He wants to get out Fiji, send everyone home, have a nice little vacation in between seasons. We're not going to stuff their torches. Like real tough. You just like don't give them plane tickets home. Let them figure it out. Like show them some real like punishments here, Jeff.
Yeah.
As you can hear, we obviously cover Survivor. We have every episode of Survivor 45. That most recent episode is already out on the YouTube channel. So make sure you check out that playlist. And like I said, we are covering everything and anything reality TV. But for myself, Brian, everybody here at the Reality Guys, thank you so much for watching and peace.